Are you ready to start building your first automations? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 different phases of building any kind of automation so you can start saving time and scaling your operations. Let's get started. I work with a lot of companies building, of course, automations, processes for them, and it's very important to go through all the 5 phases to make sure that you're going to have a reliable system, a reliable automation running for your company, right? So the first phase is the auditing phase, right? The goal for this phase is for you to start identifying what are the top priorities processes that you should start automating in your company, right? You have to understand what are the most time-consuming tasks that you have there on your company, or maybe that you do it yourself, because those are the top priorities one. Those are with a higher ROI on the automation investment. So you should start having a list of the most time-consuming tasks that you have to do there, either by yourself or your team members on your company every day, every week, or every month. And to help you figure out what are the most time-consuming tasks, you can use tools like Toggle or Rescue Time that you can download on your computer, and you can start identifying where are you spending the most time on in your day-to-day work. Phase number 2 is mapping. Okay, so now you have identified what are the most time-consuming tasks right now. So you're going to start automating that one. But are you clear on every step that needs to happen on that process? Do you know the trigger and the actions that need to happen on that process? So that's why the mapping phase is really important. And to do that, I recommend using tools like Whimsical or Miro or Lucidchart to help you build a flowchart of that process, right? So let's say that you are starting to automate your onboarding process because you're spending too much time onboarding every new client. So on the flowchart, you're gonna start mapping out all the steps that you have to go through to make sure that every new client is properly onboarded. So for every process, you have one trigger. So when a new lead becomes a client, and then you have all the actions that needs to have on that process. So let's say that for the onboarding process, you have to create a contract, you have to send an invoice, you have to create folders, you have to send welcome messages, etc. Right? So once you start identifying those steps, you can build that flowchart, because then it's going to be a lot easier for you to start building your automation. Phase number 3 is the process of building the automation properly, right? So now that you have identified the most time-consuming tasks that you have there, now that you have mapped out all the steps that need to happen on that process, now that you have that flowchart ready, it's going to be a lot easier for you to build the automation, right? So you can go to tools like Make.com, Zapier, Init, or some other ones to start building your first automation. The way that you should do this is to really use that flowchart as the guide to build the automation. On the flowchart, you're going to have a trigger, and then you're going to have all the actions. In those automation tools, it's going to be the same structure. You're going to have one trigger, then you're going to have all the actions involved. And when you are building the flowchart on phase number 2, you have also identified all the apps, all the tools that you are using for that process. And now on phase 3, once you start building that process on the automation tool, you're going to start integrating those different apps. So let's say that you are using a contract platform like Pandadoc, you are using a CRM like Pipedrive or HubSpot. So you're going to start integrating those tools and building each step of that process. After you have the first version of your automation, you're gonna go to phase number 4, which is testing, which is really, really important for any successful automation. Once you have the first automation ready, once you have all the apps, modules connected, then you can start running your tasks. You can start by using fake data to make sure that the data is passing through all the different steps, that you are triggering the automation in the right way, and then all the steps, all the actions are actually happening and happening in the right way that should be done for that process. So the testing phase is really important. Don't skip it, because then you're going to start having a lot of issues once you have these automations up and running. You can start by testing each module individually, and then once more, you can run your entire automation at least once or twice with fake data. And last but not least is phase number 5. So now that you have tested your automation, it's time to start running it live, right? Now you're going to turn it on and you're going to start seeing live data coming in, right? And in this phase, it's very important that you track the first data, that you track the first runs of this automation to make sure that the output is as you are expecting to be, to make sure that there is no issue there on the automation and any modules or any app that you have there. If everything is correct, if all the modules, all the apps are working as expected, now it's time for start scaling, right? And the scaling phase now is really important, so then you can start connecting that automation with other ones, or you can start building other ones as well. So the scaling phase is important because now you have the automation up and running, you are saving a lot of time, right? And then you can start thinking about scaling your operations and connecting to other automations and other systems as well. So to sum up, we have 5 phases to build any automation. The first one is auditing. The second one is mapping. The third one is building. The fourth one is testing. And the fifth one is scaling. Hope this video helps you start building your first automations there. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And if you want to connect so we can help you set up any automation, just click on the link down below. Or if you're not there yet, just click on this video so you can check more examples of great automations that you can build yourself. Thank you.